Morning folks. Well, we've just taken delivery of a new diesel heater. It's a standalone unit called the Hcalory TB Max or Toolbox Max. This thing is absolutely feature packed with some really good safety features, and we're going to be using it for heating our awning out here because we want to make full use of this for this winter, which is why we accepted it. You can use them in tents, you can use them in sheds. A lot of people use them in sheds and garages, workshops, that kind of thing. This thing has so many features, too many to list right now, but some really great safety features. And this is it here. So let's go ahead and unbox it. We've been so excited for this. We've been waiting for it to turn up, and it's here now. Oh, it's well packed. So comes in all this foam. So first off, at the top you've got what looks like it's quite a big book of instructions. I don't know how much of it's in English. Yeah, it's different languages, but we'll be going through all that. And you've also got all about the wireless remotes and the temperature sensor, which we'll go into later. You've got handles here, so let's get hold of it there. That's it. Well, it's not heavy, that's one really nice thing. So we've got get rid of some of this foam. So there's the actual heater there, and then you've got this box of spares there. So let's get rid of that over there out of the way. First off, let's have a look at the heater. So I presume there's your exhaust coming out. There's for mains in and for running it. That's your air intake. Here is your outlet for the heat, and this looks like, I'm not sure if it's just a sticker or whether that's a proper temperature thing or not. On the top is the display panel. Right. And then you've got where you put the diesel in with a small filter inside there. So the fuel in this is a 7.5 litre tank, and there you can see on the side you got the measurements to see how much you've got left in and how much you've used, etc., like that. So that's a brilliant thing, because we can never tell on ours without going outside and looking. But there's you can see how much is in there. So yeah, not heavy, but the same weight as a power bank actually, a big one. So let's have a look and see what's inside this. This should be all the bits that we need. We have the usual stretchy, I think they're 75mm outlet. There's your exhaust, the cables so that you can run it from your battery or from a 12-volt source, and then that is so that you can actually move your control panel to somewhere that you want. Then there's a muffler and bracket. I don't know what that is yet. Sorry about this. Some, I'm guessing, feet. Not sure what that's for. I'm sure we'll find out in a second when I've read the manual. Because unlike most people, I do actually read the manual. There's some Jubilee clips, and you've got a nice big vent there, which would be really good for what we're going to be using it for out here. That's really good. And then there's this small box here, which I'm guessing will be the remote controls and the all-important sensor, because this has a carbon monoxide sensor in it. which is why we wanted it. No, this is your mains pack. That's interesting. Aha. So under here, that I thought was, there is your control panel there, which looks like the same control panel as we've got for the van. If I spin that round, that looks like the same control panel. And then you have this remote control. This remote control, I say, has got a temperature sensor in it and also a CO2 sensor in it. So there's your input to charge it, and we'll be going through all of these different things once we get it up and running and stuff. It's packed with features, one of which is the fact that it's absolutely almost there's no ticking with this, which if you know anything about diesel heaters, you'll know that they tick like crazy. Our one certainly does, but because it's outside our diesel heater in the van. But this, according to the reviews I've seen, has no tick. So they've upgraded it. They've also upgraded the fuel consumption on this, which we'll be going over. It's really fuel efficient. Got lots, as I said, lots of safety features and stuff. But I want to have a look at the book so I can give you the proper rundown of it all. So I'm going to be doing that a bit later on. So yeah, this is going to be good. It's done so good for us. Morning, folks. Well, after a night of reading this manual, I do suggest that you do read this manual because there's a lot of features in this and its terminology is a little bit to be desired sometimes. But yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. So after reading that, we're going to put this thing together now. So I'm going to start off with the exhaust, which will be pretty simple. He says. And then we just need to slot over one of your clips. I even had a shave especially for the occasion. We're just going to slot one of these over and we'll tighten this up. They do give you plenty of spares, which is really good. That then slots in there nicely. I'll put the muffler on in a minute. But the next thing is I found out what those other things were for, so we'll turn that upside down. And we're going to fit these, which are actually the mounting plates to go inside a vehicle or to put to a board of some description. And they go like so. And they will give this a bit more clearance off the ground, and being that it's a little bit rough on most hard standings, I'm going to put them in. You do get though these feet which can screw into these if you want to just have it standing inside a shed, the actual unit or something. But I'm going to fit it with these. So right, let me get this on and I'll bring you back. Okay. Okay, that's that. Really exhaust. And then slot that on. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. That's it. And then all that's left then is just your muffler. But now I've got to work this out because that's going to be going. So I'm going to want it going that way. on this one. This is just for our test. I'm going to be putting a different exhaust on this. One that we bought for our diesel heater, which is a longer one to take it further away. But it's not necessary, but that's just something I want to do. So for the meantime, we will put on this one that they've sent us. I'm also going to be changing this hose for a longer one as well, because for us to come in the awning, I think it needs to be a bit longer. Just for this test, I'm going to have it this way round, although you should have it that way up so that the moisture drips out the bottom hole here. But just for this test, because I'm going to be changing it, I'm going to have it on its side, because we're going to be doing this outside once the wind drops down, which it seems to be. So, and then we can talk about all the features that this thing's got. So let's just run over some of the features that this has actually got. First off feature is that this is pretty much waterproof, except the part where your wires go in for your 230 or for your 12 volts. So you need to keep that part dry, which is on the back here. This hasn't got a waterproof rating, but they did send me a video of them. They're in the process of gaining the rating through the relevant authorities. This is a video of them actually soaking it with a hose pipe, and there's also people on YouTube who've put it under a hose for 10 minutes. Nothing's happened to it at all. So you can have this outside pretty much permanently, but you must do something to stop that plug getting wet on the back. So let's say it's water resistant rather than waterproof for the moment because of that bit. So that's one of the features of it, and which is a really good one, to be honest with you. The other features this has got is, obviously we said to you yesterday, it's controlled by this controller in here, which you can extend. This controller also has a temperature sensor in it, so you can set it up to be the sensor where that is, or you can set it up to be the sensor on this one, which also has the CO2 sensor, which is at the bottom there, if you can see that. And then at the top is the temperature sensor. So this is a fully wireless remote that will completely control this. And then there's also the app, which is also a controller. So we will, Bluetooth app, we'll be getting that up later on and showing you how all that works. This can be run on 3 different ways, really. The first way is just your normal. It has 10 what they call gears, but we'll call them levels. Yeah, so you've got power 1 all the way through to power 10. Then you have a constant temperature mode, which is where you would set a temperature that you want it to stay at, and this machine will do its best to stay at that temperature, so it will ramp up and down the power to get to that temperature and hold it, which is probably a really good one for sheds and things like that, because you don't want it getting too hot when you're working and stuff. And also this has a feature I've not seen on another diesel heater. This is called auto start stop. So you can set this up to be at a certain temperature. It will rise to that temperature, go there, and then it will go off. And then when that temperature falls to, at the moment it's set at -4, I think, is standard, but you could set it for, say, 8 degrees. When it gets down to 8 degrees, yeah, the machine will just suddenly, you'd have to leave it plugged in, obviously. The machine will suddenly kick back in. So if you're going away or anything like that throughout the day and you want it to keep coming on and off, you can set that auto start stop feature, and that will take care of that. It's also got timers, so you can time it for certain times of the day, you can time it for certain days of the week, which is fantastic if you're going away somewhere and you want something to come on. If you were using this in maybe a greenhouse or something like that, and you know every other day you wanted it to come on or whatever, you can set those timers. other functions, obviously I've told you about the things. I need to read this at the same time because there is so much this thing does. It's a pretty good, comprehensive looking manual, and the English is okay. The terminology is a bit sort of strange, but you get used to that. It has all the alarms on it for carbon monoxide, ventilation status. This also has a blowing section where it will just blow and vent out an area. So I presume you would use that if it was getting too hot or something. But we've gone over automatic start-stop. You can, we'll go into it, but you can go into the different buttons and see what the data is on the carbon monoxide levels and all of that. All of these different things are adjustable in the app. Some are not recommended to be adjustable, like the oil pump itself. There's a scheduled on and off section you can do, which is what I was saying about with the timer thing. Oh yeah, Bluetooth, you can adjust all the screen brightnesses. There's the oil frequency, the carbon monoxide action, and the value setting can be adjusted, so you can bring it down so it alerts you even quicker. Then you get all this error codes and all the rest of it in there. So they're trying to make it as easy as they can, but you'll see there's a lot of features to go over, so bear with me. We're going to take this outside as soon as this wind drops down. I'm going to get some diesel in it and we're going to get it fired up. But what we're going to do is we're going to run it on the mains off of a power pack out there just for this test. But I will eventually be running this off the leisure batteries. We just need a bit more time for that. But yeah, this is going to be really good. So that's it all together. That's some of the features explained. Let's go outside as soon as we can. Right, so the wind doesn't seem as if it actually wants to settle down, so we're going to just go ahead and film this up. So hopefully you can hear all right. There we go, and we're filling up now. Should be able to see it coming up the gauge soon. That noise is the pump I've got. So we're up to about 45%, which is enough to do this test. So right, we get this back on and then we'll fire it up. So as I said, for using the EcoFlow to do this test, now as you can see, can you see the lights on the thing description telling you it's got 13 volts? So I'm not gonna actually prime this up because I was watching people and none of them did. So 2 seconds on that one. 1, 2. It's on heat 4 and we'll see what happens. I feel a little bit of a blow coming out of there. So obviously it would be cold, and at the moment it's using 113 watts. Now obviously that will drop down, but it uses quite a bit as the glow plug comes in. But I know these things run at around about 26, something like that. So we're gonna we'll worry about the remote controls in a bit. But yep, we'll just wait and see what happens. Now the thing with this is marketed all about the fact that it doesn't tick. But I know for a fact it does tick when it very first makes the first time of starting up. But only briefly. But once it's actually running, no tick. So, if all goes well, we should be going in a minute. So, I'll bring you back. There we go. Can you hear that very faint tick? But you won't hear that when this is going at all, because that stops. It's just basically priming itself. Exciting, and we're up to 132 watts at the moment. Right, can you hear it picking up? So we've got it set on H4 at the moment. These are all things like time and stuff, if you can see them. This button here is for your altitude and also is used in conjunction with other buttons for changing different menu features. You've got an OK button, an up and a down, and a power on and a power off. The screen does go off after a few seconds, but you just hit that again. There's no white smoke coming out. I was a little bit, so it's primed itself. It's got that new smell going on. So there's a little bit of white smoke coming out now, but it's primed itself. That will soon disappear though. But this is why we were doing it outside. The air's picking up nicely. I say this is set on number 4. So as you can see now, we've now dropped down to 41, 32. So we're hanging around that at the moment on number 4. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? I do love a new toy. But one thing you won't hear, listen. No ticking. That's incredible. Because ours, even though it's outside, we can hear ours going tick, 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 and ours is in a box surrounded by foam. So whatever it is they've done to this thing to make that happen. Yeah, we got warm air coming out of here now. I said it's only on number 4. Which for an awning, to be honest with you, I doubt you're ever going to go above 4. Because it'll have it boiling in a matter of minutes. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's a real nice blow as well, you know. Right, let's have a little look at this remote control while we're letting it get up to date. So there's a little switch on the side there. I don't know if you can see it. Pick that up. Oh look, it's picked it up already. Look, H4. No need to even link it up. So that tells you at the top that the CO2 sensor is on up the top of there. Let's ramp it up one. There we go, we're going up to 5. And the parts per million of the carbon monoxide, 0. And we've set that at 5 now, so that would stay at heating at 5. And there you go, one flick of that button and we've changed it to 73. Which is now set on the room temperature. Can you see that one on room? If we click it back, you go back to the actual power. But we'll go through the thing. It's getting up at 74. And we need to read the instructions because you can set this to be the sensor here on this or the sensor on that. But at the moment this is on room temperature, which is this. So if this was inside there, obviously the temperature would change. Let's go outside. Oh my word, that is, yeah, on 5, that's hot. You wouldn't want to put your hand there for too long, to be fair. You can hear how quiet it is. It's unbelievable. So if we knock it down to 1 now, let's have a test, see what it's using on 1. It'll ramp its way down. Let's have a look at the EcoFloat. Oh. Yeah, you can see at the moment, and it's not ramped itself right down, but there you go, 22 watts, 31, 20, and can you hear it quietening down? And if you watch you can see it's gone down to 1 bar on the power there now. So that's the noise on number 1. And it's at 72 degrees at the moment. That's 72 Fahrenheit. So let's see what that is if we were to change it to Let's press the middle button. It's 22 degrees, which is more than hot enough. We'll be, yeah, hardly using it anything above 22 because I don't like being hot, nor does Lorna. So some of the other features that this has got is on low setting. They're saying that you can get out of one 7.5 litre tank, you get 62 and a bit hours continuous running. One guy tried it, he got 67. On 10 he got, I think it was 24 hours, but you're not going to want that on 10, that's for sure. This is 39% more efficient than all the previous Hcalory diesel heaters on fuel. Once I get this rigged up properly into our awning, because it's going to go in down through there, which I want to do properly, we'll show you it running, and by then I will have gone over and worked out all the app. We'll work out this remote control, although that was very simple the way that just picked up, and that being the room sensor and the carbon monoxide sensor too. So obviously there's no carbon monoxide outside and I'm standing right by the exhaust, so that's a good sign, because we all know carbon monoxide is only unburnt fuel. So there we can see on one at this present moment it's not actually using any watts. Put your hand underneath there a minute. That coming in for 20 minutes is going to heat this like nobody's business. Well, yeah. So that's the demonstration for now. I'm now going to switch it down. Don't forget, it's really important with diesel heaters to let them go through their shut-off process. So we'll go through that now. All right, you just long press on the power button. You'll see it says off. It's not off. It means it's gone into shutdown mode, which it then needs to do. So whatever you do, you never unplug them or take them away from their power source. You hear it's gone quiet, but that will start up in a minute, and the fan will throw all that heat out of this. Here we go. Because it wasn't running for long, the shutdown should be fairly quick. Only has to get down to a certain temperature, but you can see on the remote control, there it says off. Like I say, until it goes into complete off mode, like shutdown, you just leave it plugged in and it will cool down. What a great bit of kit. And that is going to really be useful for us. I say we're going to sit it sort of here-ish. It's going to go in through that side, so I've just got to work out that we need some longer hosing. That is warm but not boiling hot, so it goes in through the side, and then I want to put a bigger exhaust, which I've got in the garage, which will take the exhaust away from the back the opposite way out like that. But yeah, and the power thing will all be inside on the power pack in that corner. So yeah, brilliant. Here we go, just doing its rundown now. It's blowing the hot air out. It's so quiet. That makes our actual van diesel sound like a jumbo jet, doesn't it? Don't forget, you are hearing it on my microphone, so it's probably louder on that than it actually is, but that is so quiet, isn't it? Because one of the noisiest things about our diesel heater, apart from the ticking pump, is the shutdown, isn't it?
Even now I don't think that's particularly...
No, it's not particularly bad or anything, but what I mean is that's really quiet, isn't it? Fantastic. Thank you, Hcalory. But review's not over yet. I want to show you it once we've actually got it in position and I've done the exhaust, but for that I need to let that cool down. So for now, we'll let that do its thing. And yeah, you absolute beauty, you are going to be so useful. See you in a bit. Alright, now between the two of us, we've made some alterations for us to be able to use it. So we've got it placed out the side there now. I've changed that exhaust like I said I was going to, and I've put a longer one on, and I also found some of this that I had from the other, doing the van one, So at the moment it's sitting there, it's only just gone on, so it's not gone into clicky mode yet to fire on. The glow plugs are going, and then I've got the exhaust coming out the back there, which is fine for when we're just staying still for a long period of time like we are. It's underneath the box, so the rain's not going directly on it. I will bend it down just ever so slightly in a minute when it's not too hot. But yeah, hopefully, until we get some more of this, I've managed to get that to fit. Now you can hear it, there it goes. It's now kicking in. And we turned that on completely by the remote control from in there. I didn't even have to go out there. Yeah, well, it was going into its kick-on phase. And here's what we made for the corner. It's very lukewarm, but I say it's only just gone on. And we've got it set on number 4 at the moment, so I think this is going to do us lovely. It's a bit dark here at the moment, because it's getting on in the afternoon. But yeah, well, that's on 4, so when it hits temperature and we turn it down to 1, we'll see how loud it is in here, but that's not loud, is it?
No.
I can feel the air over here.
Yeah,
I say, give us a day of playing about with it, and we'll do all the app and all that stuff, get that so it's all working properly and nicely. But for the moment, yeah, fantastic. Oh yeah. Oh baby. One of the other features about this is it says it's 3-minute warming. 3-minute warning. 3-minute warming. And I got to be honest with you, that is 3 minutes, and that air is hot.
Yeah.
Well, warm. So yeah, that's not a lie so far. I am very impressed.
No, okay.
I'm impressed with that. There's no clicking.
There isn't, is it?
No, I told you it did it that very first time because it had to basically prime itself. Now there is a way of priming it by holding both the arrow buttons down, but it says do that with caution because you can't see the fuel going through the hose. The only thing I would say was also that could have been better was the actual diesel hose is that green stuff. Fortunately, I've got some white stuff here, so if it ever does go, I can change it for the white, better diesel stuff. But for now, I mean, that's gone really quiet now. Can you?
It is. It's just like background noise, isn't it? It's not intrusive at all.
And that, right, I'll see how long I can hold my hand there for. This is on 4. It's already starting to burn my fingers. Yeah, no. That's quite enough of that. I say, that's on 4, so let's...
So I can actually feel the warm air now.
knock it down to 1, because it would get too hot in here, I think. And yeah, we'll report back after we've had a few hours of it. We need to get some more diesel, and I need to put my tools away and stuff. And then tomorrow, or as soon as I've got my head around it all, we'll go through the app. Fantastic. Listen to that. That's 1. That's unreal how quiet that is. It's not even registering. Oh, there you go. 28. Then it goes off. 27. 18. 27. So, let's say somewhere between 20 and 30 watts on low heat. You know, as that says, at the moment that would last, the EcoFlow would last 22 hours. But it won't always be staying on that, obviously. It'd be coming off a 12 volt. But for now, that is it. Absolutely fantastic. So, see you when we've sussed this app out and got that all up and running, and we'll go through some of the modes that it has once I've had a play. Good morning, folks. Well, this morning we're going to have a look at this app and we're also going to have a look at the remote control. I think I've got my head around it now, and we're going to see what we need to do with it, and we're going to get it and download it. Now, to download it, we're going to need this because there's a QR code in the book. So let's get this downloaded, and we'll take it from there. Find the bit with the QR code. There we go. Let's open that up then. Okay, let's add a device. Okay, and there is the app. So now that we've downloaded the app, we've got the app there, but we're going to start off with this remote. So you can see we've turned it on, and it's telling us that the temperature in here is 25 degrees, but we're going to start the machine up. So it's just one long click on that one. There you can see it's changed to H1, so that should start it running and stuff. So we just got to let that start running, and then I'll show you how to change the modes to the different bits and probs that this can actually do, and then we'll have a quick look at the app. So if we look at the actual app itself, we can see at the moment it's just starting up, and there you can see it's telling us the voltage that's going in. There's the height, which is above sea level, the body temperature 16 degrees, the ambient temperature of this room sensor, which is in here in the awning itself. At the moment we've got it on high plateau. I'm not really sure what that is for, and we're on the heating. Well, we'll just wait for that to kick in. Shouldn't take long. Okay, so we can see at the moment that we're in the power mode on H1, but if we hold and press this middle key for 2 seconds, it should switch between manual mode and a constant temperature mode. So 1, 2, there we go, 16 degrees. Now if we wanted that to up, we'll set that to, let's set that to 24. Actually it's saying it's 25 in here already, so let's set that to 30, and then when it gets to 30 that should ramp that up down a bit and keep it around that area. Now the other thing that you can do on here is to switch, if we were in the States, which we're not, or we're using Fahrenheit, you can quickly press that once. You'll see it'll go to Fahrenheit 86. Press it again, back to 30. Right, so a long press on this key here will allow us to set this as our temperature. See, there's an R there and it's holding. So when the room is static, the word room, that means it's this one that's controlling it. As we said yesterday, when it flashes, it means it's the controller outside, if that makes any sense. So we're going to keep ours on room because we want this to be our temperature in here. So now what we'll do is we will set our room temperature down. We'll set it to 23, and we should, now that's set, we should see that go down, because you can see on power it's gone right up to get us up to what was 30, but we've now changed that down to 24, so it should start to quieten down. Now you can hear it going down. Can you see the line, the bars coming down? And then when that gets to 23, it will hold there, or whatever it was. Yeah, 23 I set it for. See, it just dropped another one. At the moment it's still 27, but it's dropping because it has got very, very hot in here. As you can see, the temperature's, the actual, although the power's dropping, it's got quite hot. The sun's come out at the same time as well, so that's all working good. I'll get how you do that now. So let's switch over to the app now for a minute. So at the moment it's saying it's 28 degrees, but you can see I've got it set for 23. It's on heating. I'm hoping you can see that in this light. I am sorry about yesterday not being able to see that screen. If we press custom, you can look at the stop temperature. At the moment is at -6, not -4 as I said. So you could have that as a start-stop if you wanted to. If we go into mode change, we go into temperature mode. Sorry, we can go into gear mode, and you'll see at the moment it's on gear 5. And the body temperature of the machine is at 104. And it's using 13 volts. But we'll take that back to temperature, because it needs to be in that temperature mode to adjust itself. So it is slowly getting down. It's going to find it very hard to get down to 23 because the sun's come out now. But I'll take it off of high plateau mode now, because we're not high up at all, so we don't need that. And so you can do all your different changes there. Now if we go into settings, you can see you got a CO2 warning, and there's the visual alert is at 350, and it will turn the heater off at 500 parts per million. Now you need to put a code in for that if you want to change it. It does give you the code. I'm not going to show you that. You can change your Bluetooth password, your unit switch, language switch, altitude compensation, and then you can go into timer setting. So a custom time to turn on and off the device. We can add one there. This is a new for adding a timer, and then you can save it and you can repeat it. Let's come back out. There's a little bit about user help. Instructions, instructional videos, error codes, what they appear as, different little FAQs, and then a feedback page. So let's go back into that timer thing. So you can see there, if you wanted to add a timer, we wanted it to come on at certain days. It's just you scroll it at a certain time, you just scroll it around. You can repeat it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, really good. So there's quite a lot you can do in here. And there's your Bluetooth symbol. It tells you it's running. It's 23 degrees. It is coming down. It's quite slow at coming down. So guys, that's it. That's the end of this review, and we are really pleased with it. Really pleased. So you've seen the app now, you've seen the remote controls, the different sensors and all the different bits and stuff. So all that remains for me to say is thank you to Hcalory for sending it to us. Thanks for watching. There are links in the description. Don't forget, you can get a 15% discount if you use our codes that are in the description, if you should happen to want to buy one of these. So yeah, brilliant stuff. And we'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.
Can still take flight, although you're earthbound.